I smoke dead people, man. You know what I'm saying? I smoke 6. 5 in the morning, I got a call with this. Dead on the floor, dead on the ride, Mr. 6. Oh, no. I'm steady screaming out, alarm, 6.
From hood rivalries to music to social media, the long-standing beef between Yungeen Ace and Julio Foolio has been anything but quiet. This is not your typical industry beef. It's a deadly saga.
Could there be anything that could be done with, let's just say, you and Yungeen Ace sitting down together and saying, look, a lot of happen on both ends, but we have to just basically, you know, we don't have to be friends, but we got to get past this and kind of just move on with our careers because we're both successful in our own way.
It probably happen sooner than later. You never know what God got planned, you know? I told him that a couple times, you know? We be talking time to time, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never know what can happen.
Julio Foolio and Yungeen Ace have been at odds for what feels like forever. But let's rewind a bit and go back to the start. Charles Jones, who doubles as Foolio, was a member of the KTA gang. He had a tough childhood, which pushed him to start his rap career at a very young age. Yungeen Ace, born in Kayenta Bullard, is no stranger to hardship either, and he communicates his pain and resilience through his music. He is a member of Foolio's rival gang, ATK. Both rappers are from Jacksonville, but the stiff industry competition and gang rivalry soon made them arch enemies. Each diss track was more brutal than the last, and their social media pages became a battleground, making their rivalry a public spectacle. But it didn't stop at words. The lyrical shots escalated into something much more. 2017. These guys have been hating each other for ages, but we never knew until it blew up in our faces in May 2017.
Police make an arrest in a shooting that killed an 18-year-old and injured a teenager and a 9-year-old girl. This happened on the west side at this house on Saturday.
18-year-old Zion Brown was the only adult in the home, along with 2 teens, a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old boy. Today, police said DeAndre Thomas was the shooter. They charged him with murder.
Back then, 18-year-old Zion Brown, who was Foolio's cousin, was shot by one of Yungeen's buddies. Brown was barely 17 years old, so the loss was very painful. There was absolutely no way Foolio was going to let it go unchecked.
The deadly incident happened early Saturday morning. According to witnesses, Thomas broke out a sliding glass door, walked inside, and began shooting, hitting a 9-year-old and a teenager. They are recovering. 18-year-old Zion Brown died at the hospital.
An entire year had passed before silence was broken. Yungeen Ace was out with his brother, Trayvon Bullard, aka Quan, and they were celebrating Quan's birthday. No one saw it coming, but the stage was set.
A shooter or shooters on the run after 4 teens are gunned down to the south side. What we're learning about the men killed in a drive-by shooting. 18-year-old Trayvon Bullard, 19-year-old Jacoby Groover, and 18-year-old Royale Smith. They lost their lives late last night.
Police say the shooter followed the 3, along with a 4th survivor, from a restaurant at the St. John's Town Center to the Town Center Parkway, then opened fire. Sheriff Mike Williams says this shooting is gang-related, not an accident.
The crew was rolling 4 deep, and Yungeen Ace was the only one of them to walk away alive, but not before catching 8 bullets. Ace eventually ended up back in prison after the drive-by for breaking probation.
At least a dozen family members were here to support the lone survivor of the quadruple shooting who faced a judge this morning. His attorney tells us, though, that he thinks his client should still be in the hospital.
He's got, I think, 13 or 14 bullet holes in him. He still has 8 bullets in him that have not been removed yet.
Attorney David Haas says 20-year-old Keontae Bullard had to leave the hospital early because he didn't have health insurance, but now he says that's complicating things, although he doesn't deny his client violated probation.
The jail staff was very supportive to him last night. He had to go back to the hospital last night for retreating of his wounds.
Since his arrest, World Star, a popular hip-hop blog, wrote about it on Instagram, calling for the public to contact JSO about it. The post received thousands of likes and comments. On Facebook, JSO responded to the influx of calls. writing, quote, "We are receiving hundreds of calls in our communications center in a short amount of time due to a social media post. We would like to remind people that the misuse of 911 or the 911 system is an offense you can be arrested for."
That didn't stop Foolio from boasting on his socials about how he played a part in Ace's brother's death. He even printed t-shirts with Trayvon's face on it that said, "Rest in Piss 23."
After Yungeen Ace gets shot and his brother gets killed, you wore a t-shirt that said "Rest in Piss 23."
Yeah.
With I guess a picture of him on the shirt?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do that?
It was just like, if you ain't with my hood, you like, it was just like it was just a lot of like talking and like undercover, like a lot of shit being said. So I ain't the type, like I'm a bold person. I'm gonna put a name on anything I say, you know what I'm saying? Like people that do tit for tat, sneak this, and so when I do something, I'm gonna go all the way, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. I went all the way and I addressed it, yeah.
2019.
Music video, you can see Willie Addison, an aspiring 25-year-old rapper, in the moments leading to his death. Addison was performing at the Paradise Gentlemen's Club Wednesday morning, just after 2 a.m. when this video was taken. Soon after, he was shot inside of a silver Chevy Tahoe, carrying 5 other people. Those 5 including Addison's father, brother, and friends, according to a family friend. They're all expected to survive.
In January 2019, just outside the Paradise Gentlemen's Club in Jacksonville, another rapper and ATK member named Willie Boss Goon Addison was killed in a deadly shooting while the rest of his family members were injured. While Foolio and his crew had a laugh at Ace's misery, it didn't last long. These tragic deaths weren't forgotten, and things went from bad to downright ugly. While Foolio was celebrating, Ace was plotting. And when the time was right, in February 2019, ATK slides on Bibby, Foolio's 16-year-old brother, and wipes him off the surface of the earth.
And gunfire erupts inside a Northwest Side apartment complex. It leaves this 16-year-old dead. Neighbors say that the shooting sounded like a war zone.
60 to 70 rounds had to be dropped in the course of maybe 15 seconds.
The sobering ripple effect that followed was a chain of gang violence that took over Jacksonville, Florida. KTA's Charles Lil Buck McCormick Jr. was shot to death in January of 2020.
295 people have been shot here in Duval County so far this year, and there seems little doubt the toll of shooting victims will reach the 300 mark soon. Take a look at this map. Since Saturday, 13 people have been shot, 6 in just the past 24 hours.
Foolio and his girlfriend became constant targets in many shootings. The street violence made its way into the booth, and Yungeen Ace released a whole album called Bibby Out, with pictures of Foolio's slain little brother on the cover. Queso, one of Ace's shooters, takes a shot at Foolio, saying, "That KTA shit ain't no shit. You know me, I'm Queso. I smoke Bibby." Queso was eventually arrested for Bibby and Lil Buck's murder after his openly bragging on social media, and one of his videos was used as evidence.
And we then is our dirt beat. What's 4 Pro? That's 18. Stupid ass. You better get caught slipping on that block, boy. Yeah, we waiting on you to slip. On 24. Queso on the drill, take off your neck. Boy, you better not try to run. We chase it, leave you stretch. Push it on the shirt. Now we wonder who next. Wet your ass up like some pussy, we leave you wet. Smoking on us, I them killers can't like they was vexed. Slide through the 6, hit him all up in his neck. He say smoking Willie, I bet them words got him stressed. He better not go to work, he better wear a vest.
This beef hit its most savage levels in 2019, with bodies casually dropping from left to right, with the police almost letting the problem solve itself.
Honest, I don't see no stopping nothing what's going on in Jacksonville. The police don't solve shit. They don't do shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't solve no murders, bro. They don't do, you know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck about us in real life. They want us to keep doing this shit, you know what I'm saying? That's why this shit up, I don't know.
That same year, even with all the ongoing mess, Ace was still caught up in another ambush at a hotel in Waycross, Georgia.
One man is dead, another recovering, and 3 people are now facing charges after an ambush on a Jacksonville rapper early this morning. Welcome to First Coast News. I'm Heather Crawford.
And I'm Jeff Ballin. Waycross police say Jacksonville rapper Yungeen Ace and several friends were ambushed at a hotel about 3:30 this morning. 30-year-old Jeremy Brookins from Jacksonville was killed. Yungeen Ace, whose legal name is Keontae Bullard, was the only survivor of a shooting last June that claimed the lives of 3 others, including his brother.
It's probably safe to say Yungeen Ace has a guardian angel looking out because he survived. But his friend, Jeremy Brookins, lost his life in the attack. After all the bodies that piled up in 2019, the 2 rappers continued their beef with some brutal diss tracks, alongside a mountain of threats and comments on IG and Twitter. At this point, I think we can all agree that this beef between Yungeen Ace and Foolio is straight out of a movie. In the song Who I Smoke, Ace calls out Foolio's dead homies. Who I smoke, who? Bibby, and I need you. Who I smoke, who? Techie, and I miss you. Who I smoke, who? Lil 9, and I need you. As expected, Foolio didn't sit back and take it. A month later, he came back strong with his own diss track, When I See You. Went out to eat on his birthday. 6. 4 shots, 3 dead in the worst way. Damn. He kept dissing on me. What happened? Now we smoking 23. Foolio rapped on the gravestones of Yungeen Ace's dead friends in his music video. The video was like pouring gasoline on the already untamed fire. No one in their right mind will actually mock the dead like that. But in this ATK versus KTA war, anything goes. The increasing count of innocent lives lost and the constant tweets and disses had hip-hop in a frenzy. People even started inviting them to shows in an attempt to squash the beef, to prevent more bloodshed on the streets of Jacksonville. To add salt to the injury, Foolio released another viral diss track, List of Dead Ops, where he listed more than 20 names of people who lost their lives in the heat of this rivalry. You talking about ops? Well, I'm the biggest. I got the key. I got the ticket. Let's talk about ops. Let's talk about drilling. Let's talk about dead ops. I got a list. Name one by one. They all got blitzed. He spent the entire 3 minutes and 39 seconds of the song disrespecting their deaths and made a bag while doing it because the song hit 20 million views. Even in 2023, Foolio refused to let the dead rest. In April of that year, he rolled into the gravesite of Royale Smith Jr., who was killed back in 2018. They filmed yet another music video, but this time, the video was for rapper Jake J. Hit. And then,
traffic was backed up along Edgewood Avenue for several hours as police diverted traffic to Edgewood and Lim Turner from 95 and the Trout River Bridge today.
I mean, it's weird. I'm like, something must have happened. I don't know what it is, but I was going to the cleaners.
Police say the homicide unit was investigating a crash that happened near the Trout River Bridge after shots were fired in the area. Investigators say a vehicle crashed into a semi that was parked on the side of the road. Witnesses in the area told police they heard gunshots around the time of the crash. A man driving the vehicle that crashed was found dead on scene.
ATK's Antonio Tilley Jr. took the celebration a step higher by dissing YBZ in a new song snippet on social media. Things took an ugly turn when a $20,000 bounty was allegedly put on him.
A Jacksonville double murder earlier this month was part of a $20,000 gang hit, according to an arrest warrant. We just received these mugshots of Juquan Mills and Diamond Harris, arrested last week in the murder of a local teenager and a man who was driving him for Uber. Community advocates say this shows how out of control gang violence is here in our city. News4 Jax reporter Vic Michelucci tells us detectives believe the victims were set up.
After a few hours after Tilley passed, they came for Foolio. But yet again, he defied death. He was shot in his Dodge Challenger, but by a rare stroke of luck, he managed to drive himself to the hospital and survive 2024. Unfortunately for Foolio, the next time death came knocking, the narrative was different. On the 23rd of June 2024, while celebrating his birthday, Foolio breathed his last breath. Foolio put his life on the line by sharing his location on IG and Twitter. He was tweeting weird stuff like, alone, hurting inside, but if you ask, I'll tell you I'm okay. And on the day Foolio passed, Yungeen Ace tweeted, that boy going back home the same day he came in. But the tweet didn't last long before he deleted it. Maybe someone called him to his senses. To top off this grim tale, the same day, Yungeen Ace released the music video for his new track, Do It, which was taking direct shots at Foolio. Every car I've been, these bitches tinted, choppers and killers in it. Catch his ass and do his ass. You know he finished. He with his baby, do it. He with his do it. With his mama, do it. Unlike some who have managed to bury the hatchet, Foolio and Yungeen Ace were rooted in their conflict, even in death. The cryptic activity seen on Foolio's Instagram account after his death has sparked myriad of theories. Some fans believe Foolio staged his own death to escape the dangers of his lifestyle and is now using social media to hint at a comeback. Others speculate the account has been hacked by someone with a morbid sense of humor, using it to play on fans' emotions. With mixed reactions across the world, some people haven't recovered from the shock, while some others already saw it coming. This feud is a reminder of how the hype of a rap beef can transfer into the streets. You know, we have to do better. It's sad to see how these kids take it to this level so easily and are stripped of all their success. We want to send our prayers out to any of the families who have lost someone in this deadly beef. What do you guys think about this situation? Do you think this could have been avoided? Let us know in the comments, and make sure to check out these other videos. Help us in the algorithm by liking, sharing, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Thanks for staying till the end, and as always, we will see you in the next one.